USC Trojans are hoping to give them something to cheer about. But Kevin Tilley and UC Irvine will look to stun USC on their home floor for the second time in almost a week and capture its third national title in the last 6 years. It's the Men's Volleyball National Championship next. The NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car from downtown Los Angeles at the Galen Center. This championship match features the top two teams in the country, UC Irvine against USC. And how did they get here to the championship? Well, UC Irvine took down Penn State 3-1 on Thursday in the semis, and USC did the same thing to Lewis. And hello everybody, Justin Kutcher alongside three-time national champion Karch Kiraly. And Karch, this is the second meeting in just over a week between these two teams. It was a victory for UC Irvine here at USC 9 days ago. It's the fourth meeting overall this year. So with these teams being so familiar with each other, what does that do for this championship?
And Justin, both teams feel like they get better and have an advantage with more familiarity. So they both think they're going to do great today. And I expect a very different match than 9 days ago, where UC Irvine, for example, ran the bulk of its offense right down the guts. They're going to spread it out more. I expect lots of adjustments and a very different match.
Obviously, with the top two teams in the country, we're going to have some of the best players in the country. We have the National Player of the Year, as well as some first-team All-Americans.
For USC, Tony Chiarelli has been phenomenal. His coach has said he's like Kobe Bryant, just put them on his shoulders, carried them to the regular season title in the toughest conference in college sports, and now here they are, playing for a title. On the other side of the net from France, Kevin Tilley, another outside hitter, has been fantastic and contributed his team in so many ways. Great battle of the outsides, great battle of teams for the title.
And it should be a lot of fun as well. The home floor for the USC Trojans. It has already been a busy week postseason-wise here in LA. These teams are all set for a national championship run. USC, UC Irvine, it's coming up next.
The NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
Back here in downtown Los Angeles, the Clippers were playing at the Staples Center earlier today. Tonight, it is the national championship here from the Galen Center. USC against UC Irvine, a great crowd on hand. And moments ago, UC Irvine's head coach John Speraw had some fun in the huddle with Will Thomas. Check it out. Will Thomas, the life of the party. I think these guys are loose.
They look ready. Going for their third title in 6 years.
The head coach for USC in his 6th year is Bill Ferguson. His 3rd trip to the NCAA tournament, his 2nd trip to the national championship. John Speraw in his 10th season has won titles in 2007, 2009, and trying to win one here in an even year.
And both coaches, such great credit to them for turning these programs around. Both programs struggled before they took over.
Coach, we talked about a couple of key players. How about other guys to look for?
Well, really interesting because it's like you got 2 NFL rookies at quarterback. Both Chris Austin, who's done a tremendous job since Daniel Stork was out with a concussion for UC Irvine, and the freshman, Micah Christensen for USC, have never been in this position before, very inexperienced. In fact, really only a half a season of play for Austin, and now a full season for the freshman across the net.
We are
critical that they keep their heads.
We are set to play as Kevin Tilley will serve first for UC Irvine. And the first set of the match is for Tanner Jansen, and the point for USC.
Back to serve number 16, Robert Feathers.
Robert Feathers, a freshman, back to serve here for USC. A block. And the point. 1-1 UC Irvine and USC. Now Dan McDonald will serve here for UC Irvine. Once again, it's Jansen.
Absolutely, you can see USC trying to establish some other strengths. Of course, their #1 strength is going to the Player of the Year, Tony Chiarelli, but they've already gotten 2 kills from Tanner Jansen. Only 9 days ago, Chiarelli was the only one to have kills in double digits. They need to get more offense from other people.
And now the first service error of the match. 2-2, and back to serve is Carson Clark, who has got a nasty serve. A lefty, it looks like he's playing tennis on a serve. And there's a service ace. He leads the country in aces, and he gets his first of this match.
And he gets a lot of spin action on it. It will curve as it's going at the player. It'll curve right to left. And that's what happened on the ace on Mohalski. USC at a little disadvantage. They don't have a lefty to practice against. A spinner like that, and another bad pass.
Chiarelli's first swing of the match results in a point.
So USC scrambling on this play. You see the serve curve that way, right to left on your screen, but Chiarelli hitting a great high seam shot. Smart to stay away from the middle blocker.
And now Chiarelli with a powerful serve.
What a great pass by Tilley.
And a whiff on the attempt there by Scott Kevorkian.
This is something to keep an eye on. The setter Austin had some trouble connecting with a few of his hitters. On this play, it was Kevorkian, but they missed on several plays in the semis. They've got lots of people to go at, and just the other day, their backup setter, starter early in the season, came in and did a great job in the semifinals.
4-4 here in this first set, best of 5. And the kill for Steve Shandrick, one of the 2 seniors on the club here for USC.
This is UC Irvine deciding, well, we're just going to put one guy at the most on Shandrick, not really honoring him very much. Easy kill for Shandrick. Great choice by the freshman setter.
Austin set back row, and there is Connor Hughes coming flying in.
This is the bread and butter play of UC Irvine. It's called the BIC, or a back row quick. And watch how fast #2 comes through your screen. There's 2 blockers up, but it is really tough to stop. Connor Hughes on that time with the put away for Irvine.
And a block, a solo block by Chris Austin, the setter, gets the point for UC Irvine.
Back to serve.
One-on-one block. And Mohalski got a little under that ball. Couldn't see where the blocker was. Hit it right into his right hand.
And a kill for Mahalski. We're tied up again at 6. These teams have met 3 times this year. UCI won 2 of the 3 meetings. And most recently 3-2 in the MPSF semifinals. Austin set. And this time going to a change of pace was Connor Hughes coming from that back row once again.
But again, a misconnection. Hughes could not take a swing at that ball, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. The opposing libero, USC's number 3 there, J.B. Green, who's just started the last 2 matches. We really got to keep an eye on that. He's not played much this season, and he got beat on that short ball. Defenders like that should not.
Good dig by Austin. The first swing of the match for Clark. And now the error there by Kevin Tilley gives the point to USC.
Boy, he has such poise throughout this season. That was a very unpoised play, a terrible choice by Tilley. I'd expect Austin to go back to him, give him a chance to make amends for that. Let's see if the set goes behind Austin. Yep, no, the bit.
And it's Connor Hughes into the net, point for the Trojans. It's hard for us to decipher where that ball is going. How hard is it for the defense on that big play?
It's really hard because you have 4 hitters coming at 3 blockers every time. And so what's happening, UCI had tremendous success 9 days ago with this big play. And they're just going to run it until USC decides to stop it. Twice now USC gotten beat by the soft shot, the open-handed tip. And they've got to recognize that sooner, that there's a misconnection on those swings.
Powerful serve by Tilley. Free ball here for UC Irvine. It's Connor Hughes again off to a great start now with 5 kills already in this first set.
And this is the libero, of course, for USC. He's missed a defensive attempt and now passed the ball over the net. Early in a match, I think it's really important to get a feel for how hard those servers are serving and keep the ball off the net, keep the ball on your side of the net, and then you can work it closer. At that time, Green trying to get it too close.
Kevin Tilley, the first-team All-American from France. Another swing there for Chiarelli. And a hot hand for UC Irvine. Connor Hughes stays hot. His 6th kill of this first set. He has 6 of the first 10 points for UC Irvine.
What's scary is nobody else is really going for Irvine yet. If they all get going, it's going to be an offensive onslaught.
Everyone talks about this depth of this UC Irvine team. And a service error there by Kevin Tilley, and a point for USC.
And there are certain guys like Tilley who just have the green light all day long. Fastball, fastball, fastball. And he brought the heater on that one a few feet out.
Feathers to serve. Clark gets the point, and that is going to be key for this UC Irvine team, is if Carson Clark gets going with those swings.
And it really depends on if he gets the right height, the right location. He needs a pretty consistent and accurate set. Austin has not always been able to give that to him, but tonight so far they're off to a good start.
Good up by McDonald. Nobody was there to finish it. And the point for USC.
I like what Coach Ferguson says about Tanner Jansen, who just notched that kill. He said he's the perfect opposite. He has no conscience. He'll swing just as hard at 0-0 as at 26-all.
Now a service error for Tanner Jansen. And that is the 3rd service error of this first set for USC. They trail by 2. They've given away 3 points. And once again, it's Clark to serve.
And he scored his first time.
That is just a nasty serve. It's almost like, imagine the best lefty pitcher in his slider. That's what he has.
But again, it's at what is supposed to be the best passer, the player with a different colored jersey, in this case, J.B. Green for USC. Trying to cool off the serving of Carson Clark.
A timeout taken here by Bill Ferguson and USC. A good start for the UC Irvine Anteaters. They lead by 3 here in the first set. Back here in Los Angeles, the Santa Monica Pier. The national championship trophy goes everywhere around LA. It's 13-10 UC Irvine meeting USC here in the first set. And Karch, a great start to this match for Connor Hughes of UC Irvine.
And UC Irvine running it right down the guts, just as they did 9 days ago when they fell down 2-0 but came back. Connor Hughes coming out of the back row, that time one-on-one. But he can do it even if there's 2 blockers up sometimes. And when there's a misconnection, he's dropping it short. Then he hits the high hands. Been very solid for Irvine. Gotten 7 of their 11 attempts. Chris Austin feels very comfortable so far with that connection. He's going to keep milking it.
Chiarelli's swing gets blocked.
USC looking very much out of rhythm there. I think Chiarelli wants a faster set, but for whatever reason, Christensen gave him a very slow set to the left side there. Chiarelli and Nygaard talking. Jeff Nygaard, who played one of the great players at UCLA, assistant coach for USC. There's a better pass. And that's the speed that Chiarelli wants. Much faster to the outside.
Why? Why does he want the faster set?
Because there's no time for the middle blocker to get over there, so he's going to hit one-on-one a lot. The ball travels faster than the body can, and so he had an easy put away. Really good set and good adjustment by Christensen.
And let's see what he does now with a serve. An ace for Tony Chiarelli.
There was a point this season playing at Pepperdine. He served 13 straight times, including 5 or 6 aces. Normally, USC puts Chiarelli to the service line first because he scores so much on his serve, and they need that a lot out of him. He got no aces 9 days ago.
A block up at the net by Micah Christensen. And that's 2 straight off the serve of Tony Chiarelli.
Yep. And good call by Sperra to ice the good serving of Chiarelli. He created both those points, first with an ace and then pushing the bad pass and a bad swing.
These are the top 2 teams in the country meeting in the national championship. It's a 1-point first set. The NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, 14-13. That is the score here in this first set. UC Irvine leading USC. And Sunday, the college baseball season continues in the Big West as UC Santa Barbara visits the UC Irvine Anteaters. College baseball on ESPNU Sunday at 5 Eastern time. Chiarelli is back to serve. He had a moment in the semifinals where he had won 7 straight points, got his team off to a great start in that second set against Lewis. Another good serve, a good dig by Brinkley. Austin set. Hughes.
Nice up.
Chiarelli. And a free ball here for USC. A block at the net by Hughes.
What a heads-up play by Hughes. UC Irvine knew there was no offense behind the setter, so Hughes moves over to his left. You'll see it right here. Number 2 on your screen in white. Jumps over and he takes the first option. The middle was going to take the second option. That's good game preparation by UC Irvine.
Chiarelli, great job getting it in there. Change of pace. And had to alter what I think he had in mind.
And he swings so hard normally that he has the defense really dug in, playing on their heels, and they couldn't recover. Michael Brinkley been doing a nice job, though, for UC Irvine as their libero this season.
Big swing by Carson Clark.
So now you can see that UC Irvine spreading it out a little bit, and they're getting Carson Clark going. He's a big part of why they won in 2009, 3 years ago as a freshman, now trying to go for his second title.
Tilly gets his kill. The first kill of the match for Kevin Tilly. This is a guy who has been on fire his last 4 matches. At least 20 kills in each of his last 4 matches.
And a good adjustment there. He ran in too early. He was hanging, just hit the ball softly off the block, got the kill.
Jansen again. Clark. And a good swing by Stephen Mahalski. Makes it a 2-point first set.
Well, both teams have to be happy about things. Number 1, Carson Clark is going okay for UC Irvine. He's been having some trouble connecting with his setter, and USC getting some nice balance in their offense. They're not just dependent on the player of the year, Tony Chiarelli, for points.
Micah Christensen with USC's 4th service error here in the first set. And now it's Chris Austin to serve.
Nice up.
Chiarelli gets the set. Tilly has it blocked. Robert Feathers up at the net. Leads the nation in blocking, gets one there.
And his coach says he has an eye and a nose for where to put his hands that time, placing them just right. He wants to get those hands across the net a lot and take away the power shot.
Not a good pass, but a good save by Wright and the kill by Tilly.
And of course, Tilly scored some points at the line. He comes up for his turn to serve again. See how USC can control that potent weapon.
Again, like you said before, he has the green light to go at it. That's his 2nd service error of this first set.
Well, and you'll notice UC Irvine, Coach Bra said, hey, you know, we've been missing a lot. If we're only missing 15, 16% of our serves, we're in good shape. But if we're missing 21, I'm a little worried, but I'm still giving green lights to guys.
And Tilly goes into the net, so an uncharacteristically off first set here for Kevin Tilly.
Yep. There was a little bit of traffic in there, and he just didn't get a good swing on that ball. Good block by Steven Chandrick.
Clark again. It seems like Clark and Austin have a much better matchup going here in this one.
Yeah. And Sparrow may be talking to him right now about getting Clark going. USC is not getting two blockers over there. They're focusing on other things. As long as they are, Clark's got some space to attack.
20-18. UC Irvine leading.
Nice up.
Chiarelli.
What a great shot by Chiarelli to take the setter out of that. Wow.
And an error there by Carson Clark. But like you said, it was set up because the heads-up play by Chiarelli.
He didn't have a good set to swing at, but you notice he hit it down the line. That made the UC Irvine setter, Chris Austin, play the first one. And then they were scrambling. They barely got the ball up and couldn't even get it over the net and in.
Jeff Carlson comes in to serve for the Trojans.
Good touch by Chandra.
Chiarelli high above the blockers. The National Player of the Year ties this first set up at 20.
What a swing. He goes up and over. He loves this fast tempo, and he just goes right over a strong two-person block for UC Irvine.
Another good serve by Carlson. Clark gets the point back for UC Irvine. Fourth kill of the first set here for Carson Clark, and now he gets to serve with that almost slider-like serve that he has.
Already got two aces, looking for his third. And another serve that got the libero in trouble.
And then Tilly comes flying in from the back for the point. Timeout taken here by Bill Ferguson and USC. 22-20, UC Irvine leads USC in a rematch of the 2009 National Championship. It was Bill Ferguson against John Sparrow. These teams met. And for match point, UC Irvine will get the chance to celebrate, capturing its second national championship in 3 years. There was Tony Chiarelli having to be consoled on the floor, and here he is now as a senior. And he is a leader of this team. You look at the meetings this year, what happened. I looked at that April 26th meeting when USC was up 2-0, and UCI comes back here at the Galen Center.
That was big. You certainly want to have that kind of momentum going into the NCAA semifinals, NCAA finals. USC felt it played an awful match that day, and it also felt it played quite badly when it lost that first meeting. So they're hoping for at least average or better. Meanwhile, the servers who should be scoring the points for both these teams are Tilly's scoring, Clark is scoring, and Chiarelli for USC, serving hard.
The NCAA Men's Lacrosse Selection Show presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car airs live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday, May 6th on ESPNU. For more information, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 89 NCAA championships. First to 25, win by 2.
Coach Ferguson for USC did not want to let Clark go more than one serve without breaking his momentum. Had the timeout and burned it on that. But he gets another overpass and a free ball.
And there was Chris Austin noticing where the blockers were and was able to sneak one past.
He sure was, and completely fooled the libero, J.B. Green for USC. Who's just playing in really his second match this season. USC feeling he's passing better. And that's not the pass they need from their libero.
J.B. Green is playing because Henry Cassidy, who is a second-team All-American libero, is out.
He's suited up, though. You can make a libero change if you want to. UC Irvine did it a few times this season.
Set point. And USC will let us see another point. And here is Tony Chiarelli. And he could go on that run right now for SC. to try to force extra points here in this first set.
And you see UC Irvine has 4 players, less space for Chiarelli to serve at. What a pass.
Clark has just put it over. Christensen the set. And it's kept up and sent back over. But it's out, and a point for USC. And now the timeout will be taken here by John Speraw. So similar strategies with Speraw and Ferguson. With the 2 big servers, they give them 1 serve, then a timeout.
No more than 1 and then ice them. Just like at the free throw line, they want them to think about this serve. It doesn't mean they're not going to serve an ace, but it makes it a little harder just to think about that.
John Speraw has coached this team to 2 national titles, 2007, 2009, now in his 3rd. How does the first 2 help him here in the 3rd?
In men's basketball, when you're playing throughout the course of the season, you have some big tournament opportunities, and you have the opportunity to learn from that. You have the opportunity to be in front of media and TV and all these environmental things that you don't get involved in men's volleyball, and it can be distracting. And so when you've been here a couple times, it's easy to manage, and you obviously learn a little bit about the environment, and you learn from the experience. I can say, hey, in this national championship match, this is what happened, here's how we responded. I can tell some stories to the team, and those are powerful stories.
And you wonder if right now he's telling a story to his guys here. They're still with a set point up 24-22 here in the first set.
Well, they're definitely taking a different route. 9 days ago, they fell down 2-0. Then 2 days later, they fell down 2-0. Both times they came back. It was a little stressful on UC Irvine fans and their hearts. But USC, they could not have a better choice for themselves at the service line than Tony Chiarelli, who has been a scoring machine with his top spin serve.
And Karch, you and I were watching him serve from that end zone a couple nights ago, and he could either curve it or have that change up or that screwball.
But you can see that UC Irvine has 4 players, not 3 out, and there's less space for Chiarelli to aim at. They're cutting down his spacing. Look at your screen there. 4 passers, and he breaks out the easy serve.
Used with that great start. Austin.
Nice up.
Chiarelli from the back row. The back dig there by Tilly.
Oh.
They're going to say the ball was touched at the net, so the first set goes to UC Irvine.
Well, it didn't look like a touch to me, but the linesperson had a much better line on that ball. Let's see. Ooh, that looked like it was over the hands. It's far away. Maybe this is a better view.
If anything, maybe a fingertip got on that ball.
But if it were, that's the call you have to make. A fingertip is all you need.
25-22. UC Irvine takes set 1 in this best 3 of 5 championship.